What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? We back again, Fly Free Sports. I finally got some time to sit down and make this review of UFC 317. And also speak about the rise of Ilia Topuria as a legitimate superstar in the UFC. The time is now. The UFC has finally found their golden goose, their new one. So we'll speak a little bit about that as well as the review of the 317 card. But overall, dope night of MMA, man. The UFC put on a good card, man. It's I think it's in the running for card of the year. It was another one earlier in the year. I can't remember which one it was, but I do remember one off the top of my head that was pretty good too. Yeah, 317, it did not disappoint, man. International Fight Week. It was a spectacle, man. It was good entertainment, man. Good fights. Um Yeah, let's get into it. The first fight of the night, kicking off the card, I predicted Peyton Talbot to win, bounce back from a big loss that he had in, I believe, January. He did come out with a victory. Peyton Talbot, he looked good, man. He looked good. Excluding the first round. The first round, he didn't really look too good. But as the fight went on, he started getting more comfortable in his striking, mixing it up a little bit with Felipe Lima, who's also a up and coming prospect who's expected to do good things in the UFC. It was good to see Peyton Talbot bounce back. Because sometimes, man, when them young fighters they have a loss, coming back off that loss, you never know if they'll ever be the same. But I'd say he pretty much aced his comeback. Still a lot of things obviously to work on as far as his skills in the cage, but he showed himself well in that fight and was able to pull off a 29-28 decision, unanimous decision. So that was good. It was a pretty entertaining fight. Not too bad at all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The second fight, Benil Dariush and Hanato Money Moicano, I did not see that fight. I was at a family event, and at that time, my attention was off of the card for a split second. So I can't even really say like what happened in that fight or give no analysis of the fight or anything like that because I didn't see it. So, but I do know Dariush ended up with getting the decision, and I guess it's back to the drawing board for Money Moicano. Man, he coming off two losses. We'll see how he bounces back in the future. Dariush, I mean, both of these guys are vets. Who knows what's next for Benil? I don't think he's retiring or anything, so we'll see what they give him next in that division. 155 is stacked. I'm sure they'll come up with something. Yeah, that's pretty much that on that. The next fight, man, this is contender for fight of the year and most definitely a fight of this card, man. Flyweight bout between Brandon Royval and Joshua Van. Joshua Van, man, I said after the 316 card, which he also fought on earlier in June, the nigga always shows up, man. Like he always shows up. He's gonna give a good account of himself every single time. You can never he's never gonna cheat the fans. You're gonna get just high level MMA, high level striking. You know what I mean? Brandon Royval, same thing, pretty much. And there were a lot of people coming into the fight that were saying they don't know if Van will be able to keep up with Royval. This is his best competition up to date. So we were looking forward to seeing what Van would do in this situation. And man, he impressed. He impressed. Both guys, like the pace of this fight was fucking incredible. Like they had to throw like 600 strikes between the two. It was amazing, man. Like it was one of those fights where at the end when they read the decision, like you wouldn't be mad either way. I think a lot of people started pulling for Josh Van as the fight went on because he's an underdog. You know what I mean? He's not expected to compete with these guys in the top five. I don't know if he was the underdog in Vegas or not, but just from an MMA and UFC fan standpoint, um, I think most people would have thought that Brandon Royval would have got the win in this fight. And Brandon Royval fought a great fight too. He just got hit a lot. Like I don't know. I think Royval might have actually outlanded Van. I don't have the stats in front of me or anything. He might have outlanded Van, but Van's shots were taking way more of a toll on Royval than his was to Van. Big reactions. He even got the knockdown at the end of the fight. Yeah, Van he put on, man. Like, and I think that's very, very good for that division. A division that doesn't really get a lot of notoriety in the UFC. It's almost like the flyweights don't exist. They're kind of an afterthought. So it was good to see that fight be the highlight of the night and shed some light on those guys in the flyweight division. And just a great win, like I said, by Josh Van. 2 wins in a month. That'll shoot you up the rankings real fast, especially when one of those wins are against the number 1 contender in Brandon Royval. So shout out to Josh Van, man, doing big things. Only 23 years old, just living out his dream, man. You like to see it, you love to see it. And he more than likely will be getting a title fight against the guy that I'm going to speak about in this next fight, Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kara France, man. And in my preview video, I pretty much told y'all like this. It wasn't really much to break down. Like, he's just outclassed. Alexandre Pantoja is just on a different level than probably all these flyweights, but in particular Kai Kara France, who I knew was not going to win this fight. And it was complete domination, man. Like, it was complete domination. Pantoja got the takedowns when he wanted. He was landing his strikes when he wanted. It was a clinic until he finally submitted him. You know what I mean? So he submitted him. What was it? The third or the fourth? It was one of them. But up to that point, he had dominated the fight. It just like Kai didn't win a round. He didn't win a round. I mean, he had a couple moments here and there where he landed some punches, but nothing significant. Pantoja pretty much dominated. Like I said, the one thing I noticed about Pantoja, as dominant as he is, and he's very underrated in UFC discussions. Like I said, the flyweights don't get talked about a lot, but he does have a weakness. His gas tank kind of wanes. Like, as the fight goes on, it's kind of like you see it. Like, it's like a switch flips, and then he's all of a sudden he's tired. Like, I don't understand what that's about. If that's something he needs to just address in camp, as far as his cardio, whatever kind of strength and conditioning he's doing, or whatever the case, whatever he has to shore up to get that, because that's pretty much the only weaknesses I see with Pantoja. Like, other than that, man, he's just leaps and bounds above all those guys at flyweight, except for maybe Brandon Moreno. I mean, I know he beat him a few times, but those were wars, though, especially like the last one. The last one was a complete war. And if there's anybody in that division that I will say that can beat him, is my boy Brandon Moreno, the assassin baby. So we'll see what the UFC does, but more than likely it will be Alexandre Pantoja against a very deserving Joshua Van, who has just went on a streak that's undeniable and is deserving of a title fight. So that's pretty much all I could say. I hope Van pulls it off, man, because I like that kid, bro. Like, he has a lot of promise, and I just want to see some new blood, man. Like, I like when the new guys come up and they're challenging these vets. Pantoja is no easy task, though. Like, that Van had to damn near fight a perfect fight to beat Pantoja. Or, like I said, Pantoja gasses out and Van is able to take advantage of it. So we'll see. I know I'm about 95% sure that that's the next fight at the flyweight championship level. I'm pretty much, that's pretty much a certainty. So we'll see what happens with that. And on to the main event. And I went 4-1 on this card too, by the way. Predictions, you already know. Like, I was 3-2 on 316, 4-1 on 317. So 318, that means we're going 5-0 on the main card. It's only right. The prelims were dope too on this card too, by the way. Like, I need to make a separate video or something breaking that down. But the prelims were great. On to the main event of the evening. Once again, man. I told you niggas. I told you, man. Like, this is the train is smoking. It's too fast. Everybody getting ran off the track. Like, Ilia Topuria is hands down the pound for pound number 1 fighter in the UFC. I didn't even need to see the rankings come out yesterday to know that. Like, it just is what it is. I think I think when you're in the moment of something, I think a lot of people don't appreciate it. Like, um, especially when it's a guy, like everybody else has been saying, that's knocking out all the guys that you love watching. Like when Ilia's knocking out Volk and he's knocking out Max Holloway and he's knocking out Charles Oliveira. It's like, man, come on, bro. There's like an automatic dislike for a guy like that. Now, I don't feel that way, but I'm understanding that the majority of the UFC fans feel that way. And it really doesn't matter, bro. Like at a certain point, you gotta tip your cap. Man, it's impressive. Like I think Ilia, well, let me just say first, he gets a first round KO of Charles Du Bronx Oliveira, who is a lot of people's, favorite fighter or top 3, 4, 5, whatever you want to say, but he's a fan favorite. So, and it's just crazy to see like the reactions. Like a lot of the reactions are still like, oh, well, he can't beat so and so, or he can't beat this guy or beat that guy. And it's just like there's no level of appreciation for what you're seeing right now. This shit is literally history. What Ilia Topuria is doing right now is history. It's history in the making. You're gonna look back on this shit 10, 20 years from now and be like, he really, really did that. Like it's one of those resumes now at this point. He could not fight again, and he's probably a Hall of Famer, 2 division champ, and knocked out 3 legends in the sport back to back to back. And he's 28 years old. Like he could literally not fight again and would be in the UFC Hall of Fame. And it feels like his career is just starting. 17-0, no weaknesses. I told you about the stand up. One of the most powerful stand ups you'll see. The guy throws punches in combinations, punches in bunches, like as they say. He's a great grappler. It's just there's no weaknesses to Ilia's game. We saw in the fight, even when Charles Oliveira was able to get the fight to the ground, Ilia kind of, I won't say dominated the exchange that they had, but it showed that he's not somebody you're going to be able to take down and just control. That's not going to happen. That's why I was saying what I was saying before. If he fights Islam, it's like, what is Islam really going to do? Because I don't really see Islam controlling Ilia on the ground. As great of a wrestler as Islam is, and I do believe he's a better wrestler than Ilia Topuria. I don't want anybody to get it misconstrued what I'm saying. I think he is a better wrestler, but he's not. The gap isn't so big to where he's gonna just hold him down and just be having his way on the ground. Pause with Ilia. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So, and what else was I gonna say? Yeah, there's a lot of comparisons. Uh, of course, with Conor McGregor, the rise of Conor McGregor, now the rise of Ilia Topuria. I saw the entire rise of Conor McGregor, and as impressive as it was, Conor McGregor is not the fighter that Ilia Topuria is. Well, he was not in his prime, the fighter that Ilia Topuria is now in his prime. It's just you can't name one attribute that Conor does better aside from the selling the fight, the speaking, the mic presence and all that shit. Like he has the edge in that. But when we talk about actual like attributes as a fighter, we break down striking, we break down grappling, we break down jujitsu, you name it. Ilia is superior. It just is what it like, because it was at a point in time you knew if you get Conor McGregor to the ground, you got a good chance of winning that fight. Like you could sub him. We saw that with Nate Diaz. Yeah, they saw it with Khabib. Obviously, Khabib is like one of the best wrestlers ever. But he out wrestled Conor. Chad Mendez had moments against Conor until he ended up getting knocked out later in the fight. But the point is, like, Conor was able to be controlled on the ground. You can't say the same for Ilia. So I think that's where the difference is. Like Ilia is a legitimate black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he don't even use it. He doesn't even use his jiu-jitsu because he's flatlining everybody before he has to. Like it's crazy. Like, so I mean, no weaknesses. And like I said, Connor's rise was 50% due to his ability to talk that shit and sell the fight, and 50% of it was his actual, in the cage performance. Ilia, he's pretty good on the mic too. He's not Conor McGregor level, but he talk his shit too. Like the smiling and the apologizing. Oh my god, the man apologized to Charles Oliveira at the face off the day before the fight. Like, yo, I'm sorry it had to be you. And then go out in 2 minutes, 2 minutes and some change and flatline him. I I mean, like, what negative could you say about that? Like, there's nobody else doing that. There's nobody else doing that. There's nobody else making it look that easy. I mean, what, man? Like I told you, I'm not betting against Ilia Topuria until he get old. Like he got to show some signs of decline. There has to be something significant that happened in camp. Maybe he's coming in the fight with an injury that I know about, or like there has to be something like to make me bet against Ilia, against anybody in the world right now at this point. Like I'm not betting against Ilia Topuria unless he's significantly compromised by something, and I don't see that really happening. Um, yeah, it's fucking incredible, man. Shout out to him. I tried to tell niggas before it happened too. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like I know I pulled up a video of me talking before. I just think like he's like he says he's the next level. He's the evolution of MMA. Um, the confidence, the performance, it all comes together, man, to create what you're seeing. Fucking amazing, bro. Hats off to him. And I think, man, even further than that, I think, like I said, a lot of people don't like guys who show that type of confidence. But me personally, like, I love it, man. I love it. I love when fighters or athletes in general just go out on a limb, say crazy shit, and back it up. I love it, man. Like, it's only a problem when you talking that shit and you losing. It's only a problem then. But to me, like, if you have the ability to go out there, talk shit, do this, that, and the third, and then still show up the night of and perform at that high level, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Like, that's just how it works, man. I believe that in sports. I really believe that. What Michael Jordan said, a motherfucker who talks shit before the game, he could respect. That's the same shit that Ilya is doing right now. Like, he's telling motherfuckers, I'm knocking this guy out in the first round. He's going up to him at the fucking weigh-in saying, I'm sorry it had to be you. Everything he has said, he's done, literally, and at the highest level of mixed martial arts, the UFC. He has done that shit at the highest level against the best competition. Then you hear motherfuckers trying to deflect, talking about these guys are out of their prime when he's doing this. How? Who? Volk is the champion now. Ilya left that division, and Volk is now the champion at 145. He won his belt back against the next best guy that was in the division. So Volk's obviously not washed. You got Max Holloway, who was coming off the best performance of his career right before he fought Ilya. So there's no way in hell you could say he was declining. He wasn't in his prime. The nigga literally had the best performance of his career right before he fought Ilya and got knocked out. And Max is my guy. Like, everybody know how I feel about Max. I love Max Holloway. Like, Max Holloway is one of my probably top 10 fighters in the history of UFC. But Ilya is just on another level, man. Then you go to Charles Oliveira. Like, Charles has been a perennial top 5 in the division guy. Like, the most finishes in UFC history. The most subs, I think, in UFC history, submission wins. It doesn't matter. Like, when these guys get in the ring, I mean, the cage with Ilya, it's over, bro. Like, he's telling them, he told all three of them, I'm knocking all three of y'all. I'm gonna be the first one to knock out Max Holloway, who had never even been knocked down in a fight before. Did it. Volk, they tried to run the excuse that, Volk just got knocked out a couple months ago against Islam, so his head wasn't all the way there. It was gonna happen. It was gonna happen, bro. I don't know what to tell y'all. I know Volk is a very likable guy too. I like Volk as well. But it was gonna happen. Um, Enough of the excuses, enough of the bullshit, man. Just respect legends when they're in front of you. I really believe that. A lot of the guys, like you'll hear me talk about as my favorite guys in sports, they all have that kind of like, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Like, I'm holding my nuts. Like, this is me. Favorite NBA players, Ja Morant, he don't give a fuck. Sean O'Malley is my favorite UFC fighter. He don't give a fuck. Like, these motherfuckers go to the beat of their own drum. Like, and that's how it's supposed to be as an athlete, man. You don't let motherfuckers deter your confidence and have you fucking biting your tongue and not performing. You know what I mean? So these are the guys that I gravitate to. And now Ilia Topuria, he's doing the same thing, just at a higher level of performance. It's fucking incredible. Like I said, shout out to Ilia Topuria, man. Just, I don't know what they got next for him. There's obviously Patty's there, Patty Pimblett, Arman Sarukian, who probably will. I think that's the direction that the UFC will end up going in, just because he was due the title shot against Islam and had to pull out for injury. So I'm pretty sure Armin's going to be next. Justin Gaethje is kind of still there, but we don't want to see Justin Gaethje. Please, UFC. I know y'all not going to see this video, but please, man, please do not put Justin Gaethje in a cage with Ilia Topuria. Please, man. Like, he is going, like, you know how Ilia always say, I'm going to take his head. His head literally might pop off, man. Like, Justin Gaethje is not going to beat Ilia Topuria. I don't give a fuck if it was prime. The most prime version of Justin Gaethje is getting flatlined by Ilia Topuria. So you could make excuses about he's out of his prime and all this shit. Like, it wouldn't matter. Justin Gaethje, I mean, I've been watching him his whole career. Even at his absolute best, he's not beating this version of Ilia Topuria. It's not happening. So we don't want to see that. So we could just take Justin Gaethje out the mix. If they really want to do something, they should probably put Patty against Arman Sarukian and let them battle it out to see who the number one contender is. Like, that makes the most sense to me. And I know Gaethje said if he don't get the title shot, he's gonna retire. But nigga, if you fight Ilia, you're gonna retire anyway because he gonna knock your shit loose. Pause. It's just gonna happen. So yeah, we don't want to see that shit. It has to be either Patty or Arman Sarukian, unless Islam loses at 170 to JDM and he comes back down and gives everybody the fight that they want to see, which is Ilia versus Islam. I didn't mention Islam because he's not in the division no more. It's not worth mentioning the prospects of him and Ilia fighting because it's not happening. Like I said, unless he loses and decides to go back down to 155. But we'll see what happens on that. My guess is he beats JDM. And I don't know what happens after that. But that's why they make the fights. We'll see. What else? That's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. I just Ilia Topuria, bro. The UFC has found the face of their promotion. All the marketing, all the money, all the efforts, all the promotion, everything needs to be put behind Ilia Topuria. He has the image, clean dude, you know what I'm saying, family man shit, knocking motherfuckers out easily. Like, he on some prime Mike Tyson shit right now, like just putting niggas away. Pause. It's some shit to behold, and the UFC will be best served just putting all their marketing dollars behind Ilia Topuria. He has a country behind him. He has two countries behind him. He got Georgia and Spain behind him. So with that being said, man, like, the machine needs to be behind Ilia Topuria. I mean, he got it all. He got it all. He got it in spades, man. So Dana, that's your new guy. Look no further. And we'll see what happens next. But that was my preview of UFC 317 and the rise of Ilia Topuria. Fucking legend in the making, man. Like, share, subscribe. I will be back. Of course, more UFC videos, more videos just in general. Tap in to Fly Free Sports, Fly Free Speaks, all those separate entities. I am Fly Free CT, and I'm signing off for the day, man. Holla at me.